Hey everyone, Phylaris here with an updated Diana jungle clear guide. This one's gonna be for a red start full clear. I'll be posting a blue start full clear later down the line. Now, at the end of the video, I'm gonna have a side-by-side comparison of taking E versus W at level 2. Pretty much every pro is taking E at the moment, and I think it's incorrect. Kite the red buff downwards, but leave a small gap by the wall so you can pass through. Walk behind the red buff and throw a double camp Q. Turn on to the Krugs, making sure to weave your Q and W for maximum uptime on your passive. Once the medium Krugs spawn, hold on to your Q and kill them with a W instead. This way, you can finish off the little Krugs with a fadeaway Q instead of having to stand and wait for them to land. You can also just use both Q and W on the medium Krugs, and then use a second Q to finish the little Krugs. This is faster, but it's also really risky, so I don't recommend it. Pull Raptors down towards the bush, and simply stand still and finish them with your AoE. It's pretty straightforward. Your last passive auto will clear the camp, so you don't need a second Q. Open on wolves with a QE over the wall, then kite them upwards towards blue buff. Use your W when your passive drops, and then toss your second Q over the wall at the blue buff. A couple more autos will leave the big wolf low enough to die to your burn, so you can just E over the wall onto the blue. Kite the blue buff over to the Gromp, then walk behind it for a double camp Q. Immediately E the blue buff before your Q hits the Gromp. This will give you an E reset, and then apply Moonlight to the Gromp, so you can then E to the Gromp without having it go on cooldown. After that, you simply finish the two camps together with your AoE. Now we have the comparison between going W and E at level 2. Almost every pro has been going E at level 2 from red starts, and as far as I can tell from testing, this is just incorrect. The logic is that you can hop over the Krugs wall with your E, and you get twice as many uses of your E as your W, which means more passive attack speed. However, if you kite Krugs downwards properly, not being able to hop the wall isn't a big time loss. Additionally, you can't quite look at DPS simply from a numerical perspective. You have to put it in the context of camp kill breakpoints. As you'll see, E and W are actually just about identical in clear time, but W is way healthier. Now, this is a big deal because with the extra HP, you can safely double camp blue and Gromp with a W opener. With the low HP from an E opener, we've seen a lot of pro junglers opt to simply 5 camp into Scuttle because they're too low to double camp. But as we can see here, a W start leaves you nearly 300 HP higher despite having the same clear time. The only argument I can see for taking E at level 2 is if you have a really long leash so you don't have time to kite the red buff downwards. But I'd like to point out that Diana clears so fast that she reaches Scuttle on spawn with a smite remaining even if she's leashless. So in a leashed case where you might save a second or two with E, I still don't think that's worth the HP loss since you'd reach Scuttle before it spawns in either case. Anyhow, that's just my 2 cents on the issue. Feel free to let me know in the comments if you think I missed anything. I'll post the blue start guide at a later date, but it's a pretty similar story. About the same clear time, but W is healthier. Thanks for watching, and feel free to subscribe. You can find a link to my Discord server in the video description below, and as always, a big thank you to my Patreon supporters for helping to make this channel possible.